أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم يا رحمة للعالمين يا شافي المذنبين সুপ্রিয় দর্শক ও শ্রোতা, পবিত্র রমজান মাসের বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান খাজানায়ে রমাজানের আজকের ইংলিশ এপিসোড উপস্থাপনায় আমি খাদেম মোহাম্মদ আব্দুল হাই দস্তরখানে খাজেগান টিভি অর্থাৎ ডিকে টিভি এবং খাজানায়ে রমাজান বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠানের পক্ষ থেকে আপনাদের জানাই আন্তরিক শুভেচ্ছা ও অভিনন্দন। আজকের এপিসোড ইংলিশ ভার্সনে আমাদের সাথে উপস্থিত আছেন হজরতে শাহ সুফি মাওলানা মোহাম্মদ রুকনুজ্জামান সাহেব হাবিবপুরি, যিনি সোনারগাঁ দরবার শরীফের গদিনশীন হুজুরের প্রধান খলিফাও। আজকে উনি আমাদের আজকের যে বিষয়বস্তু সেইন অফ আওয়ার তরিকা অ্যান্ড ডেইলি ওয়াজাইফ, এটার উপরে ইংলিশে আমাদেরকে আলোচনা করে শোনাবেন। আমি অনুরোধ করছি উনি যেন আমাদেরকে সংক্ষেপে আমাদের আজকের বিষয়বস্তুর উপর আলোচনা করে শোনান।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম ওয়া রাহমাতুল্লাহি তাআলা ওয়া বারাকাতুহু। আসসালাতু ওয়াসসালামু আলাইকা ইয়া সাইয়্যিদি রাসূলুল্লাহ। আসসালাতু ওয়াসসালামু আলাইকা ইয়া সাইয়্যিদি ইয়া হাবিবাল্লাহ ওয়া আলা আলিকা ওয়া আসহাবিকা ইয়া সাইয়্যিদি ইয়া রাহমাতাল লিল আলামিন। Amma ba'd. All praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who has brought upon the creation and who sustains all the creation, and peace and blessings goes to our master Sayyidina Nabiyina Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa barik wa sallam, along with his family, the companions radiyallahu ta'ala anhu ajma'in, and the awliya kamilin. We live in a time where we need dalil, proof. And it is an excellent habit to build so that we know what information we are taking on board. Is it something that is real or is it false? So we can decide whether the knowledge that we are taking in or receiving or recipient of, is it authentic? So to verify authenticity in Islam, we look at the chains that link. So where does it go and where does it come from? Or is it someone just claiming to be? From that, today's episode is about the chain, about our chain that links us of tariqah, of the road, of the pathway to establish ma'rifah, and the daily routine wazaif, the things that is to be practiced or practicable in our life. I, Muhammad Ruknuzzaman, welcome the people who are present here and the people who are watching live and the people who will be watching and coming to watch our videos and knowledge that we are trying to spread on the platform of Dastarkhane Khajagan from DKTV Central, way that we are trying to propagate what we are representing or the representative of. On this occasion, the blessed month of Ramadan, so we call it Khazana Ramadan, the treasures, the seekers of treasures in Ramadan. May Allah accept it and guide us upon the truth. Ameen, Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alamin. So today, we are engaged in such a great subject, Allahu Akbar, such a big subject. If we were to look at the list itself, the people that we will be talking about, if we just to look at the list, then we go up to about 38, 39 great representations of this chain who connects to the next, to the next, to the next, and met each one of them in life and continuously goes to connect with the beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam without break. So there is no mutawassil, but all connected. There is no break within the chain at all. But we are talking from the first. So we start off with Sonargaon Darbar Sharif, which is based in Bangladesh, Dhaka. So how does this name come about? We need to know and grasp the reality of these things. So I'm going to try and keep it concise. If we cannot cover all that has been covered today, we may have a follow-on episode to cover the same. So Sonargaon is a place. Sonargaon is a place in Dhaka. And Darbar is a place as well where people gather. Sonargaon is a place in Dhaka. Darbar is a place where people gather. Why should they gather? There are different representation of gathering. It could be for political purposes, for remedy purposes. So we go to doctors, we go to schools, we go to college. But this is like one of those representations where people come to receive information. So now after that, we have Sharif written on it. Sharif means something that is pure or purifying. So now it makes sense. Sonargaon is a place where people come as a center to receive pure or knowledge of purifying.
Yes.
Make sense? MashaAllah. How people can understand that in a simple manner. Now, where does it come from and who gave this? These places must be blessed with a continuous chain from who gave it to whom. And a person represents that place. Until then, we cannot just name a place and say this is what it is, because there will be no barakah or mercy, because the chain is discontinued or there is none. For example, if we were to connect a light bulb or a socket, we connect something up. To power it, we need connection through the grid system. If we do not have a central grid system to say that's a socket that it recognizes, we will not receive no power. Similarly, if the grid system where it started from, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, if that does not recognize, so it's disconnected from that, then there is no mercy upon that. So I've just tried to keep it as simple as possible, inshallah. So now I've expressed that. So who represented that place? He is known as Sayyidina Hussein Ali, rahimahullah ta'ala. That's his first name, known by his family. So his parents gave him that name. So when he was taken on board, at an age when he was studying, so Sayyidina Hussein Ali, rahimahullah ta'ala, he's our grand sheikh, who was studying at Dhaka University. When he was presented, either in his dream or by reality, which he did not declare or clear, or there is a bit of ambiguity on this. When he received Sayyidina Khaja Enayatpuri rahimahullah ta'ala, who blessed him, who accepted him to be a master of Sufi in this pathway. When he took that on board, then he was blessed again with the people of living, who was the responsible people of the Darbar of Khaja Enayatpuri rahimahullah ta'ala. His direct descendants, I think fourth child, and the other one was the Gadinshil, who was the actual acting responsible person for that Darbar, who met them on the day they came and took him on board as a disciple, as a student, to work on this pathway. That's when he started his work. From there, his name started to change. As he was started, we all start in our life. We all start in our life with the name that is given by our parents, and then we are connected with the family. So we have a family name, whether it be Mia, whether it be Khan, whether it be Chowdhury, whether it be Sayyid. These are all family name, and within that a recognition name. So his recognition name is there from his family. When he joined that Darbar and when he started to work upon it, he was recognized, then his title was being given by those people in the position to give him. Just like when a person achieves an institutional recognition, so then they can become a Bachelor of Science. So they recognize a name or title is given, and at the later stage, if they do a degree in doctorate, they get a recognition of doctor. So that's how these names and titles are given. So what was his title? Title was given Fakir Mujaddidi, from those disciples and those people who are in actual responsibility, along with Ghazi. Ghazi is a very special name in Islam, a title which is recognized in Islam for different purposes and names. If we go into that will take a very long time. So I'm trying to keep it still very concise as possible. So who is he now? He is known as Sayyidina Shah Sufi Ghazi, Fakir Mujaddidi Hussain Rahimahullah Ta'ala. He is the one now responsible for Sonargaon Darbar Sharif, which was given to him. So he started work on the tarbiyah. He started to channel the wazaif, and he was receiving what was necessary. From there, as he was a student, he received all the relevant requirement. Then he was charged or given. He started a madrasa upon that place. But he was asked to leave the country of Bangladesh and travel to Saudi Arabia, currently known as Saudi Arabia, where he stayed for approximately 10 to 12 years.
12 years, yes.
12 years. Where he has done some writing as well. One of his major work was, the name of that book was Madinatul Ilmi. Madinatul Ilmi was one of his major work. And then he has done another work which is on the wazaif of the Tariqatul Wazaifi. These are the books and other research that he put together whilst he was serving, where he stayed in Saudi Arabia. He was serving as a Darbar, but there the actual environment, people did not accept Sufism. Even now we know there are differences of opinion within Sufism and different takes and understanding. But when we come to realize what the truth behind is, so we need to work a lot harder. We need to put forward and refine our character. What do Sufis do? They truly refine their character to the truth. So they do not tell a lie. They do not act in an oblivion way so that they deceive other people. So it's always clear manifestation and clear order and commands where it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said not to do and to do. So they remain in those two paths with clearance. So when he has done those kind of work, then he established in Sonargaon Darbar Sharif a madrasa. Madrasa is an Islamic school. I don't need to go into that. And then he started to perform Urus Sharif as well in that place. And it kept running for quite a long time. After 12 years, he came back to Bangladesh to work in the center. And I think he was placed in another place where he worked. I've totally actually forgot the name of the place where he actually worked and started to one of the idara of Daim Rahmatullah Alayhi.
Daira.
Daira.
Bada daira, big daira.
Of big or suto?
Big daira.
Of the big daira, greater daira that is known as in Daim Rahmatullah Alayhi, where he worked for quite a long time and received the actual pathway to Qadriya.
Yes.
So he was connected now with Qadriya as well. But where he got from, so if we look at his sheikh, who is his sheikh? Sayyidina
Khaja Muzammil Haq.
Khaja Muzammil Haq, Rahimahullah Ta'ala, Shamulibagi. Shamulibagi, Rahimahullah Ta'ala. His actual sheikh. So who is he? So that is how we connect our chain. He is the fourth descendant, actual blood-related child of Sayyidina Khaja Mohan Enayat Furi Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi. This is where actual Silsila come from, and it connects to us. The main body of representation comes from Khaja Enayat Furi Rahimahullah Ta'ala. Then to him comes to his fourth descending son, Sayyidina Shamuli Bagi Rahimahullah Ta'ala. To him comes from to our Grand Sheikh, Sayyidina Fakir Mujaddidi Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi. And that is where Sonargaon Darbar Sharif come to being. Now the person who represents now, because we say Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi to our Grand Sheikh, that means he have departed this abode. So now who represent this Sonargaon Darbar, the responsibility fell onto Hazrat Maulana Shah Sufi Muhammad Abul Bashar Chandrapuri Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi. So again, Maddazullahul Ali. He is the living coordinator and the responsible person of that Darbar Sharif. So if we look at his name now, how is his name? His family name was given Muhammad Abul Bashar. He is from a place where it's called Chandrapur in Feni. So now he's Chandrapuri because of that area, just like we call Imam al-Bukhari Rahimahullah Ta'ala comes from where? Bukhara. It's a connection, it's a recognition. That's not a title. So people come say, oh, what's this then? This is a recognition. And then if people don't know where Chandrapur is, we can say it's Feni, then we can say Bangladesh. If we wish to put a bit more address to it, addressing, so people will know where it exists. Then we come to the other part, the actual recognition from the other side, which is Shah Sufi. That is a laqab or a title which is given when they are accepted into the fold of the work that they're doing. So now they are given the titlehood which they hold, which is Shah Sufi, given by their sheikh. Now, Chandrapuri is by birth. Because that's where he's born.
Birthplace. Yeah.
Birthplace. So now we know where he's from. The name is given by birth, by the parents. That's not being changed. And then the laqab, the title, so the recognition comes from Shah Sufi, who is given by his sheikh. And then he was given the actual responsibility by his sheikh directly, although he had many other disciples, khalifas, meaning representative, but he was chosen above all. And he has many times recalled and told us many times that when he met his sheikh said, I've been waiting for you. And this he says in English, that I have waited for you for 25 years. And when we reflected, our sheikh said that I was actually 25 years old at that time. He's never met him before that. Subhanallah. So he is well known because these things are well known in the chains. A sheikh is aware of the disciples who is to come next, because these are not just a mere picking by election or selection, but rather picked by Darbar Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa barik wa sallam. And these are great wisdom to be passed on. So now we have a little connection, and then we have the connection, a model I'm trying to pictorially put together, where we work from here. So when we look at the center here, which is Dastarkhan Khajagan, or we call it Sonargaon Darbar, UK. It is a center where the current sheikh, he is working from. Because he was blessed, first of all, by his sheikh to work in Europe, and then until now, he's been selected to work. So these are pointers. They don't come just by their own will. These are by instruction and commandment of the sheikh to say, go and work in those places. It is necessary. Just like we recognize Sayyidina Shahjalal Yamani Rahimahullah traveled from Yemen to Bangladesh upon the authority and selection by his sheikh and asked him to go and work in Bangladesh. It wasn't upon his own will. So this is what we look at now. So now this center, what is it built on? What is it built on? Is it just Sonargaon Darbar Sharif, or is there more to it? So when we come to recognition of this center, meaning Hazrat Shah Sufi, Abul Bashar Chandrapuri, we're recognizing, or else this land has no real value. This center has nothing. This building has nothing. If we look at the recognition, there is to be a person through whom we receive the blessing. So who is it? So we receive the blessing in this center through Hazrat Shah Sufi Abul Bashar Chandrapuri. Who does he receive from? So he receives, first of all, that's his first. He always will quote. He receives his first blessing from Sonargaon Darbar Sharif in Dhaka. Then he was established and commended by Sayyidina Siddiqi Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi, who was, we all know in UK, people who are based in Birmingham, well known for very well aware of him. Alauddin Siddiqi Rahimahullah Ta'ala. He blessed him, gave him many fires, many barakah, and blessed him with khilafah. Then, on top of that, he is connected with Pakistan again from a great sheikh, a great and great Sufi who walks on this earth at this moment. Sayyidina Shah Sufi Tariq Ahmad Damatum al-Qudsiya, based in Karachi. First of all, he blessed him in his dream. Then he called him over to go and visit him directly. And we all accompanied, there was many of us who accompanied him. At that Darbar, we met him, subhanallah. Because of these people, these characters, these noble characters, these noble people are walking on this earth. That is one of the reasons why Allah is blessing these lands, yet still. When we meet them truly from the heart, then we recognize what Islam is about, what tariqah is about. Then he blessed him with, as a representative, to work on his side as well. So what do we work under? We have the blessing of Qadriya, we have the blessing and connection of Chishtiya, we have the blessing of Naqshbandiya, Mujaddidiya, Shazliya, Abu Alayya. All of those different tariqah came from different mashayikhin. But what do we truly work on most of the time? We truly work on most of the time as our main base is Naqshbandi, Mujaddidi. I will try and explain that why is it that we work on that mostly, and why do we not work on the others? It's not that we pick and choose, but it is more of an understanding. So make it easy for the disciples that is coming in. And why is it easy? We'll try and explain that. So if we were to go into, I think I have, in a very simplified way, I've tried to put forward whom we represent, whom we work for, and what is it our duty. So coming to me now, who has put me in this place, in this seat? So this seat, or what I have been placed on this seat to serve by whom? So it is none other than Hazrat Shah Sufi Muhammad Abul Bashar Chandrapuri Damatumul Barham Qudsiya Sirruhu. So he has asked me to put this forward in front of the audience in the English form. And I am a disciple of his, declared. May Allah accept us in that pathway. So I've come to a conclusive way. Now, how do we connect? Which is known as the Shajara. Shajara in English means tree or a family tree, a chain. In hadith format, it will be called a chain. How it connects from one muhaddisin to another muhaddisin or narrator of hadith. Now here, it would mean the one who passed one to the other, the mashayikhin. And if we were to just read through them, instead of looking at too much in detail, because each of these names will take hours, a book, an encyclopedia, where they come from, where they have received, you can do your study, or we will try and do one or two at each and other gathering. So if we were to go through from the top of the tree is Sayyidina Nabiyina Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa barik wa sallam. Then we are connected to Sayyidina Amirul Mu'mineen Hazrat Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala an. Then Sahabiya Rasulullah Hazrat Salman al-Farsi radiyallahu ta'ala an. Then Hazrat Imam Qasim ibn Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, connecting as a son, as a direct descendant of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Then coming to Imam Jafar as-Sadiq rahmatullah alayhi, then Hazrat Bayezid Bustami rahmatullah alayhi. And then where Jafar Sadiq rahmatullah alayhi comes in, his chain connects to Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. There are many people asked, especially one group, they say, oh, you don't mention Sayyidina Ali. No, not in negligence. Astaghfirullah. We regard all Sahaba as Sahabas. We do not neglect no Sahabas. People who take one above the other. But the Prophet of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam taken Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu above all other Sahabas. How? And it is narrated with a clear narration. أفضل الرجل بعد الأنبياء يعني Hazrat Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. So it isn't a choice from the ummah, from the nation, but it is an accepted narration of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. But we do not pick upon any other Sahaba to be any lesser. Then comes to Imam Jafar Sadiq rahmatullah alayhi. Then Hazrat Bayezid Bustami rahmatullah alayhi. Then goes to Hazrat Khaja Abul Hasan Khirqani rahmatullah alayhi. Then Abu Ali Farmudi Tusi rahmatullah alayhi. These are one after another picking as their shaykh. Then his disciple or representative was Sayyidina Khaja Abu Yusuf Hamdani rahmatullah alayhi. Hazrat Khajagan Khaja Abdul Khaliq Ghazdawani rahmatullah alayhi goes to Hazrat Khaja Arif Rewghari rahmatullah alayhi, to Hazrat Khaja Mahmud Faghnobi rahmatullah alayhi, Hazrat Khaja Azizan Ali Rametini rahmatullah alayhi, Hazrat Khaja Baba Sammasi rahmatullah alayhi, and then Hazrat Sayyid Amir Qulal rahmatullah alayhi. Now this Sayyid Amir Qulal rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi was the main nourisher of spirituality to Sayyidina Khaja Bahauddin Naqshband rahmatullah alayhi. Before Naqshband rahmatullah alayhi came, the name of this pathway was different. Until Sayyidina Khaja Naqshbandi Bahauddin Naqshband came, this name changed. It doesn't mean to say they don't still have any values. Of course they do. They're still deeply rooted within the practices, but the actual theory and the format of the practice have changed a little bit with Bahauddin Naqshband rahmatullah alayhi. We're trying to explain that at a later stage. Naqshband means pictogram. I think we've explained that in another video of our previous, so we will not go into that. So he passed it on as a representative to Sayyidina Alauddin Attar rahmatullah alayhi, to Hazrat Maulana Yaqub Charkhi rahmatullah alayhi, to Hazrat Khaja Ubaidullah Ahrar rahmatullah alayhi, to Hazrat Jahid Wali rahmatullah alayhi, to Hazrat Khaja Darbesh Muhammad rahmatullah alayhi, to Hazrat Khajagi Amqanaghi rahmatullah alayhi, whom then was one of the greatest representative in this field was Hazrat Khaja Baqi Billah rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, from whom came one of the greatest reviver of 1,000 year. We have revivers every century, but then we have one every 1,000 year, and none other came Hazrat Imam Rabbani, Qayyum Zamani, Imam al-Shariat Tariqat, Faruq Sirhindi, Mujaddid Al-Fisani rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. We are connected to him. So now we know how staunch and directly connected to each other. But what happens after that? Where does the chain go? Does it still stay? Does it still hold up? Check. We give everybody to check it. If there is anything, let us know. Then it comes to Hazrat Shaykh Sayyid Adam Ben Nuri rahmatullah alayhi. Then Maulana Sayyid Abdullah Barbadi rahmatullah alayhi. Hazrat Shah Abdul Rahim Muhaddis Dehlavi rahmatullah alayhi. One of the greatest name in Asian subcontinent. And then their family descendant Sayyidina Shah Waliullah Muhaddis Dehlavi rahmatullah alayhi. Then Maulana Shah Sufi Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayhi. This is where now starting the Shah Sufi laqab are coming in slowly. Hazrat Sayyid Ahmad Shahid Barlawi rahimahullah ta'ala alayhi comes into as one of the disciple of Sayyidina Shah Sufi Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayhi. Then from him goes to Maulana Nur Muhammad Nizampuri rahmatullah alayhi, Maulana Shah Sufi Fateh Ali Murshidabadi Al-Waisi, we call him as well, where we will try to expand on why he is called the Al-Waisi at a later stage. Then comes to Sayyidina Maulana Sayyid Wajid Ali rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. He is the a direct sheikh or the connection of our Silsila, Sayyidina Maulana Shah Sufi, Sayyid Khaja Muhammad Yunus Ali, who is now Yunus Ali. So all the other things we have already expressed, and this is known as the great Sufi to work on this silsila is Mohan Enayatpuri rahimahullah ta'ala. And we do not need to go, but we'll still complete the Shajara to read it. And his son, Sayyidina Hazrat Khaja Muzammil Haq rahimahullah ta'ala, to goes to Hazrat Khaja Muhammad Hussain Ali Fakir Mujaddidi rahimahullah ta'ala, to goes to Sayyidina Hazrat Shah Sufi Muhammad Abul Bashar Chandrapuri. And then there are many other connections. The other things that we read within our Shajara Sharif, people may ask, there are other things that are written within our Shajara Sharif. These are basically other element or blessed silsila, the connections we have received blessings from. So we can say, just to give you an example, Chandrapuri Alwaisi, so we're connected to Alwaisi. Mujaddidi, we're connected to Mujaddidi. Naqshbandi, we're connected to Naqshbandi. Then we are again Al-Chishti, Al-Qadri, Enayatpuri, Sonargaon, At-Taraqi, Ash-Shazli, Muddadhilluhul Ali. So all these are representation of the different chains are blessing us into this center. So now you can see, if we were to continuously look up on each of these heavyweights in the fields, but when we take bay'ah, when any one of us takes bay'ah, we are merely acting as an agent of the main representative of the silsila, Sayyidina Khaja Mohan Enayatpuri rahimahullah ta'ala. He is our real spiritual guide. It does not mean to say we neglect or negate any other in between, but we have like an institution. That's where the actual registration goes into. And he is the one spiritually guides the ones to be guided. So not everybody will go to a university to start off with. So we slowly structured and go into that. And inshallah, whatever I have missed in this episode, I will go through it again, and we will try and build up on this. And we will try and pick each one of those great names and try to put it forward. So this is the first recognition, yes, with the connection of the chain, without any break, going to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So each of those people represent other Darbar Sharif. So we're not negating any other Darbar Sharif, and we're not putting our Darbar above any other. And then this Darbar, Sonargaon Pak Darbar Sharif, has given other Darbar Sharifs as well. And then we will mention them as Khalifas who have received many other Darbar Sharif, who are working on behalf of whom? Sayyidina Khaja Mohan Enayatpuri rahimahullah ta'ala. Upon this, I'm trying to end or come to a conclusion, and I seek and ask every single person to try to gain a bit more knowledge. And if you have questions, please do ask in a nice manner so we can find that information and put it forward. Yes. And a question have risen, that a question was put forward. Why should people pick this chain above others? Yeah. The simple answer that was given was that this tariqah, where other people end, this tariqah starts from there. So, to explain that a little bit, the Qadriya Chishtiya, they start from the nafs, the darkness of the nafs. So trying to take them out and straighten them up. And then they end up with the revival of the heart. But in the Naqshbandiya Mujaddidiya Tariqah, we start from the heart itself. So especially Sayyidina Khaja Mohan Enayatpuri rahimahullah ta'ala was given special blessing whenever he used to take a murid, a disciple. They would point their finger at the heart and recite Allahu, and their heart would start like an engine. Similarly, many of the mashayikhin have been given, such as Sayyidina Atrashi Huzur, and then there's other Chandrapada Huzur, and many others who are blessed with this kind of capacity. We're not negating that today it doesn't exist, yet still it does, because of the descending, because of the authority that they have given. It is still given, and it is known that that's where it starts from, and from there we work on to the rest of our hidden faculties. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the wisdom and the sanctity of the true knowledge, so that we can seek the knowledge that is required, so that we can hold on to the rope of Sharia and excel ourselves in the way of the tariqah, meaning excelling to find ma'rifah. We ask and seek assistance and grant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that we truly can recognize and become a disciple who haven't become a disciple to a true Shaykh. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
বারাকাল্লাহ ফিক, জাযাকাল্লাহ খাইর শেখ। সুপ্রিয় দর্শক শ্রোতা, আজকের মতো অনুষ্ঠান আমরা এখানে শেষ করতে যাচ্ছি। যাওয়ার আগে আপনাদেরকে ডিকে টিভির পক্ষ থেকে আবারও শুভেচ্ছা জানিয়ে এখানে শেষ করছি। আল্লাহ হাফেজ। আসসালামু আলাইকুম ওয়া রাহমাতুল্লাহি ওয়া বারাকাতুহু।